Hello friends! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lauren and this is a channel for just all kinds of fun. If you're joining me from last week or maybe even the video before, then thank you so much for supporting me, and you're still here, that's amazing. If you've not already, don't forget to subscribe because you're obviously here for a reason. And if you like this video, please make sure to give it a like because it really would help me out to see how I'm doing with this whole thing. I'm new to it, but yeah. Thank you for all the support so far. And if you are new here, then hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 things that happen when you graduate. So if you want to hear about sort of my experience and what I kind of gather is a general experience, see if you can relate to it, blah blah blah, then yeah, just keep watching. Okay, so number one, I have notes because I miss uni that much. But number one is everyone will ask you what you are doing. Literally everyone. I mean, this is kind of obvious because you say you're graduated, you're a graduate, whatever, and the obvious question is, oh, what are you doing? But it's not like, oh, what are you doing? They ask you as if you should have written about 10 books and won a Nobel Prize by now. Like, anyone else getting this? Or is it just me? Yeah, and it will almost become a script. Like the amount of times I've told people that literally like this rehearsed script of what I am doing currently with my life. It's really funny. Yeah, so that is number one. Number two is that you will feel lost. And I find this one a bit of an awkward one to talk about because I do feel like older adults or your parents or uncles, aunties, grandparents, whatever, like, or any other older adults you come across find this really funny and like don't think it's real, but it is, like, and I think it's okay to feel a bit lost and a bit overwhelmed. Like, you know, obviously the degree you do hopefully is steering you to a certain area of career or work or whatever, but ultimately you have got thousands and probably even million, I don't know, thousands of things to choose from, to do with your life. And yeah, it's a really big decision to make, especially when you've got all this pressure on you, like I said in the first one, of everybody asking you what the fudge you're doing. So it is quite a pressurised situation to decide. And number three, a lot of people will move home. A lot of people. And it will infuriate you. Definitely. I know this seems really obvious, but I was definitely someone who in my final year, I was like, I'm not moving home. I don't, you know, yeah, you could save money, but I'd rather just start life and carry on being independent and blah, blah, blah. And in my situation, my circumstances, that meant I had to move home. But I think there was also, without kind of my own mental health problems, like there's a lot of people that do just have to move home. Like it's very hard to move straight out and have enough money to live. It's very hard. So yeah, a lot of people will move home and it will kill you slowly. Like, genuinely. Because you're kind of regressing. Like, you've been independent for 4 years, 3 years, whatever, however long your degree was. And then you're back home and you kind of don't have that independence anymore. And don't get me wrong, I'm not someone that is weighted on hand and foot when I'm at home. Like, I'm very lucky to have been brought up in a family where I feel like I was taught very good morals and like manners in my house, not regressing in that way, but it still just feels like a step backwards. So yeah, that is number three. Number four, finally one that sort of feels positive, but I find this quite funny since I've started doing it. You will network wherever you go. I mean, this might just be in my kind of industry, like the sort of thing you do, but yeah, literally, you know, you meet some guy in Costa, you find out what they do, like, you know, you just start networking with people and like making links with people, definitely. You feel like a lot more of an adult, and you do, if you are working, you do talk to people about your work, and yeah, I just think you feel a bit more confident. Number five, I have literally in my notes just written, social media is bad. What do I mean by this? No, I know what I mean. I mean that those friends of yours that are getting onto graduate schemes or getting a really good job straight away, that's amazing. We're really happy for them. Except we're not. when we're scrolling through Facebook and we see someone's got like their dream job, you do start to kind of compare yourself to other people on your social media feeds, and you do kind of look at what they're up to and think, why am I not doing that? Why have I not got that job? Why have I not had so many interviews and this, that and the other? But you know, you can't compare yourself to other people. Like, we're not robots, we're all human. Everyone does things at their own pace. A lot of things happen for a reason. So, you know, I'm trying to give shorter explanations because I've realised that I really waffle. So, yes. Number 6. So this might just be very circumstantial, like to my situation, I'm not sure. But I feel like you kind of stop looking after yourself a little bit when you graduate. Kind of moving back home, you do have that little bit less independence. You have to respect your family home, and you can't buy your own food and cook and whatever the same way that you used to, and you don't have the same routines. So you kind of stop looking after yourself a little bit, quite naturally, because of the rates of like unemployment, or perhaps going into a job that you don't feel that successful going into. So maybe a job that's not that related to your degree, or something you didn't see yourself doing. A lot of like graduates do start to feel quite worthless. Like, you're getting setbacks, and naturally when you feel worthless, you don't look after yourself. Again, I'll just repeat, this might be circumstantial to my situation and what was kind of happening to me towards the end of like my final year, but I do feel like talking to other people that graduated last year and a few years before me and a few of my other friends, you do go through that low patch, and I think you stop looking after yourself a little bit. So that is number 6. Number 7, pity offers. Yeah, so with that kind of pressure you're getting from parents, older adults, like I said in the first one, of everyone asking you what you're doing, there is quite a lot of pressure, and that constant thing of like, have you looked for a job today? Have you got a job? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And people do start to kind of give you pity offers. So, you know, you'll get sent links every now and again to random part-time jobs that you have no interest in, or it is usually like it's people that have their best interest and they're really just trying to support you. But little things like that start happening when you're a recent graduate. Number 8. This sounds really stupid and really obvious and kind of cringy, but you feel more grown up. You do. I think this comes in very different ways for different people, but you do step up your game. You feel more grown up, and you start thinking about like things that you haven't ever thought about before. You start thinking about moving out if you haven't already, like moved out straight from uni. Yeah, you start thinking about moving out. You start thinking about your relationships and where they're going, friendships and loving relationships. My friend the other day was talking about like her 10-year plan, and I just think, phew, you do, and like, yeah, it kind of just happens. You go into this adulthood very quickly. It's 0 to 100, but it's true. Number 9 is about contact with friends. So I think, and again, this might be circumstantial to me because this is something that I am dealing with and struggle with and trying to get better at, but I don't think that you have that great contact with your friends as much as you thought you would. You know, at uni it's kind of like, we're all going to be such good friends forever and blah blah blah, like, and you're not, like, not in a bad way. Doesn't mean you don't love those people, but all of these things tie together. You know, with this like becoming an adult thing, that kind of becomes less of a priority, and again, I don't see that as a bad thing. I think you should always keep your friends. I think friends are really important, and those relationships, but everyone is trying to get their life together. And lastly, number 10, the last one is rejection. You will get rejected at some point. It might not be straight away, it might be in the future, but usually, like, as a graduate, you will experience rejection, and I personally think rejection is a good thing. I think it's really good to experience rejection. I think it's really good to learn from your mistakes, or to just learn from having that like setback. But with that being said, to anyone that has graduated recently, I just hope that you are happy and looking after yourself. You might not be working, or you might be in a job that you don't like, you know, or isn't what you thought you'd be doing, and that is okay. There's a lot of us out there that are in that position, don't worry. And for anyone that's done really well, then congratulations, I'm really happy for you. I've got a few tips that kind of feed into some of the stuff that I said, because I don't want to leave this on a really sad video. There are really great things about adulthood, and there's great things about graduating. So My tips are, don't compare yourselves to others. You're not a robot. Everyone does things at their own pace. Everyone does things differently. Accept those setbacks because they're really important life lessons. And don't overthink about stuff. Like, don't think you're a failure because, like, hopefully this video has just shown there's a lot of other people that are going through these things. These happen when you graduate. Like, you're still in your early 20s, most people. You've got your whole life ahead of you. You know, don't overthink. You're not 40 and living at home still, you know? You've been at home, if you are still at home or whatever you're doing, it's been a few months for most people, okay? You're still within that first year. Just pick yourself up, do what you need to do, and it's all gonna be okay. Okay, so that's a wrap. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you agreed or disagreed or found any of the things I spoke about relatable, then yeah, let's have a chat in the comments box. And I'd love to hear what you thought about the video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye!